Good morning, everybody. It's Miss Ginger Dots, and today I am making money cards. Sometimes it's so difficult to find gifts for teenagers, so we all like to give money, but we just hate to hand them checks or a $20 bill. So I like to make cards, and I came up with this fun card taking a $20 bill and building it into the actual card itself. So what I did was folded the $20 bill into a Christmas tree and built the card around it. Let me show you how I did it. I started out with actually building the card itself. So I am using our Snow Haven paper packet, and I'm using the back side. So I am going to glue down the paper on a Colonial White card. So I chose a black background because I wanted everything to stand out, and it looks like there's little snowflakes in the background. And then I'm going to use the blue as kind of a hill. So I need to I want it to look like a snow bank, so I'm going to kind of just eyeball and tear a hill. So that's going to represent like a hill of snow. So that's going to go right there. Now, before I glue that down, I'm going to make my tree. And the way that I made the tree is I take a $20 bill and I'm going to fold it in half. And you want to crease it pretty well. So if you have a bone folder, you want to grab your bone folder and crease it. And then you're going to open it up. And I don't know if you can see very well. Let's see if I can move this more to the center. And then you're going to it's very simple. You're just going to fold the two edges to the middle. So as I used to tell them in kindergarten, so that they kiss. The two edges kiss. And then fold it over one more time. Okay. So then what you're going to do, you have your base right now. And what I wanted to use for my trunk, originally I was going to use just a piece of cardstock, but it didn't show up too well, so I wanted it to be a little more glittery. So I'm just taking some of our sparkle tape, and we're going to use that as our trunk. So I'm going to have this show, I'll have the 20 show right there, so they'll kind of know. So that's going to kind of be the bottom. So I'm going to flip it over, just kind of eyeball it, and we're going to know that this is going to be the edge. So we're just going to kind of take it and not make an exact point, but just kind of make a point from the bottom to the top. We're going to kind of do the same thing on this side. Now, you're not going to have a point at the top. It's going to be kind of wide, but we're going to cover that up so it doesn't matter. You just want the bottom to be, you want to try to kind of make it semi-even. And you want the bottom to be wide. So then you flip it over, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so that is going to go over here. Before you glue anything down, you want to make sure you've got everything kind of in the right place. That's a little bit, I think I'm going to take my hill down just a little bit. Too much snow. Okay, that'll be a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm going to do now before I glue my hill of snow down, I'm going to put my base of my trunk down. This is double-sided, well, it's a glitter tape and it's got sticky. The hardest part about using it is getting it started. we go. So I'm just going to stick this down first. Okay, then I'm going to glue my snow base down. I love our Binding Memories glue, and if you notice, I'm dabbing it rather than streaking it because it's going to hold better. When you dab it and it dries, it's going to hold a lot better. If you streak it, it's not going to be a permanent hold. It's going to be a temporary hold. So therefore, I'm going to, because I don't want this $20 bill to hold real well, because I want, the children to be able to take it off and spend it. So I'm just going to kind of do a streak. I'm going to let it air dry before I glue it down, because by doing that, it becomes like a Post-it note holder. So you're going to kind of let it air dry before I stick it down. And that's a really good thing to know about our glue. If you let it dry before you stick it down, when it's clear, it becomes not permanent. It becomes a temporary glue. We'll let it dry a few more minutes. Okay, and in the meantime, while that's drying, I had gone ahead and stamped a snowman. That is from the stamp set. It is D1610, and it looks like this. And I stamped the snowman out of this set and stamped it with our markers and went ahead and cut it out. And he's going to go somewhere down here. And I wanted to add some dimensions, so I used some 3D tape. I forgot to take my tape out of my drawer, so let me grab that real quick. And again, when I designed my first card here, I put him on there straight, and I wanted it to be kind of whimsical and fun, and he looked kind of funny. So I kind of put him on crooked because he was just a jolly little guy. So I'm going to stick him on with 3D tape, kind of at an angle, because he kind of looks roly-poly to me. So I'm going to stick him on about right there. And then what I did was using one of our Hostess stamps. Now this is a stamp that you cannot buy. You have to host a home gathering or an online gathering to earn this, and you can earn it at a special price if you do that. And it's just a really fun stamp set. It says, "Have yourself a merry little Christmas, let it snow, 'tis a season to be jolly, or may your days be merry and bright." I used "'Tis a season to be jolly." And what I did was I stamped it on I think it was like a 2 by 3.5 piece of paper, and then kind of made a banner out of it. And I have a thing about doodling. I think a lot of times when something looks a little bit too plain, it just needs to pop. It needs a little something more. I think doodling is the way to go. And I thought this looked good. Oh, and then after I did that, I curved the edges to make a banner. I thought it needed some doodling. And so to doodle, you just don't need to be scared of this. You just need to do it. And you just kind of basically draw around the edges. And it does not have to be perfect. Actually, if it's not perfect and not straight, it looks better. Adds more interest. And I thought that just made this little banner pop. And then I go back and add little bows, I guess. I don't know. This was a look way back when our company was called Dots. Jeanette Linton, this was her signature mark. She did this, and she did little dots as well on everything. And I still use it, and it still looks really good. So that's going to go about right there. I'm going to glue it all the way at the top. So I'll go ahead and glue that on now. I want this to be permanent, so I'm going to glue it right away. It's going to go right there. I'm going to go ahead and glue this $20 bill down now. Okay. And then, to top it off, our paper always has, it's 12 by 12 paper, but it has a zip strip on the back, and it goes all the way across, and it tells you, I got a piece of I've got a goober on the back, a piece of foam tape or something. It tells you the name of the paper packet, and it also tells you the colors that were used in it. But then on the other, so you always know what paper, if you have a lost piece of paper, and what colors. So if you're trying to match something. But on the other side is always a design, and you can cut those designs off and use them for borders, and we call them zip strips. So this is a piece of a zip strip that I cut that I'm going to use for the top of my card right there. And if you notice, this one's black. That's a black zip strip from the Snow Haven paper, and this is a blue one. Both of them work. They all coordinate. That's what's so great about our paper packets. All the cardstock and all of the background and texture paper mix and match. No guessing. So many times we go to the craft store and, we get overwhelmed trying to mix and match papers. Okay, then that's pretty much it. This is an embellishment from, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was the Ruby. I'm totally blanking on the name. It's our embellishment, our mini melodies, I think. And I love this little poinsettia. I thought it was so cute. It's perfect size for this card, so I'm going to put that right there. And voila, 'tis the season to be jolly. I have a money card right there. I just need to stamp a sentiment in it, and we're ready to go. So if you'd like more details on the card, visit my blog, www.missgingerdots.com. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great holiday season. I hope I've inspired you to make some of these cards. I'd love to see your artwork. If you do it, please email me, and I will post your artwork on my Facebook page. Thank you. Bye now.